The next item is
package 4.
Is package 4. Planning for the implementation. I suggest that item 4 remains the last to be discussed because it is not urgent. We will start in a year's time, and this is not so urgent. I think we better go a little bit to package 5, and then we come back to package 4.
Teachers.
The training material.
3.1 and 3.2.
They are all connected to what we are discussing. So the national webinar learning events, I think we can discuss later on. What is important now is today to clarify more packages 2 and 3, and also to discuss communication, because communication according to the roadmap starts from now. From yesterday. So this is why I think it is needed to go to package 5. By the way, hello, Carlota. It is 5, as you know, it is something that we lead jointly, MIO and Legabiense. So Vicky, could you please introduce it?
Okay. Okay, so
yeah, you may start. May I have your attention? Yes.
about 5 on communication, no? They don't read it. About communication, engagement, dissemination, and exploitation, and of the project. So what I'm going to present you here in this presentation are actually the key elements that will be developed in our communication dissemination plan. That we need to draft it very, very soon and to share it with you. The presentation contains the key elements, the key content in bullet points, of course. The overall scope of the communication plan, of our communication plan in this project, is of course to disseminate and widely diffuse the project's activities, resources, and messages. Is also the co-creation of tailored messages, something that we do sometimes forget when we do communication activities, the partners. So we need to co-create, we need to have a common language in our communication about the project, in order to meaningfully connect with our audiences, with our target groups. Also to consider national and where possible the local context. What we mean with this, there might be some national differences in various aspects regarding awareness, education status, etc. that we need to consider when we create our communication posts, tasks, things like that. Another scope of the communication plan is that the various dissemination activities, communication activities that we do and the messages to be communicated should be interlinked and mutually coherent. This is maximize the communication impact that we have. And of course, we have also included measurable indicators to our dissemination communication plan and strategy. So, very briefly, this will be the context of our plan, our communication plan, the specific objectives, the identification of the target groups that we're going to reach out, and the expected outcomes of our dissemination strategy, and the partner's task regarding communication. We will clarify and discuss them here today. What is the timetable for our communication activities? We have also created a tool, a very simple tool, in order to track our communication tasks. We will share it with you later on. And we can even open a discussion about the hashtags that we can use in the social media.
Could you go a little bit before to the previous one? The
Compare
previous one.
the overall scope.
Yes, the overall scope. You have some, you presented it, and I think it's very important what is written there,
Mhm.
because the content to be disseminated, apart from being clear, accessible, and user-centered, it has also this question, to answer this question: what's in this material for me? And that means what is for me beneficial, but also what is for me to do. And this is something that it has, I mean, it's an important question for the tail of the messages, because it is two things: is what is the benefit and what is my obligation, or some that will come out of that. What next for each one of us? This many times this is missing from the messages, the tail of messages. I just wanted to point out this duality in the message.
All right, these are the objectives of work package 5, communication. You know them. These are exactly how they are presented in the submission, the proposal form to increase awareness for the project, its achievement results. Through this to promote this innovative approach in education, blah, 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 to increase awareness of the importance of the education initiative, and to maximize the project's outreach not only to the primary target group, but also beyond to our audiences who discuss about them later. Okay, the second part of the communication plan is going to present and identify and present what are the target groups, our audiences, let's say. Primarily, we start with our partners. The partner staff and the associated partners. So very quickly, we have a pool of something like 50 experts and practitioners in the field. So these are the direct partners, so a direct target group, direct beneficiaries. We continue with the participants of our events and of our activities. We know that we have included in our project multiplier events in 4 countries, These are also direct beneficiaries of the project. We have even added in the submission as I saw 200 more or less participants per event per country. Here we also have the participants of the final event, the final conference in Italy. other target group to communicate the problem.
Also here, don't confuse the final event with the total number of participants that have been beneficiaries. Not all of them can be there. I mean, the final event will have, yes, yeah.
Direct.
Yeah, but even the 150 to 200 participants are, it is not a very clear, I mean, these 150 to 200 are not the ones that will travel there. So we need to understand that they are all hybrid. I don't know yet, but in fact, there will be many more. You come to that, but we should not confuse the ones that will attend the final event with the number of the participants of the project. And this is something, I mean, the participants of the project will be thousands at the end of the day. Yeah.
Yes, we are still here, the multiplier event and the final event, and we continue with the target groups. We have the indirect beneficiaries, of course. We are going to reach out the networks that we are linked yes, with networks of schools, institutions, professionals, such as the MEDIS network members, networks of universities and education centers, networks of teachers associations. They are going to know about our project, about our deliverables. We're going to reach out to them through our communication activities. Networks also of other associations that are engaged in non-formal ESD, such as MIO network of NGOs and others, of course, civil society, and more to be identified and added by all of us. So in the draft communication plan that we will share with you in the days to come, we will include a particular table that will include everything that I shared now, and you will be invited to add networks that you belong to, audiences, where you plan to communicate.
And it's an opportunity now for the survey. Seriously, we're going to launch the survey to do it all together. Think of your target groups, main stakeholders you collaborate with, note them in the table, and then send them also the questionnaire. So we can do all these with both of these tasks both now and in January.
Yes. So this is going to be a work in progress. We will finish, let's say, this table of indirect beneficiaries in the next month. Sometimes we'll keep adding, oh, I have reached out to blah, 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 blah. I think it's clear now, the whole audience that we're going to reach out. Okay.
And this is, as you said, a work in progress. For sure, we will not reach all of them in this month. It is.
Yeah, we have 2 years in front of ahead of us, so 3 years, 3 years. So we have some time. So, that part of the communication plan is going to present the expected results and the indicators. I have summarized them here. Key product, key expected result is going to be the product's visual identity, the logo that we're going to use everywhere in our newsletters, templates, presentations, the web page, so on and so forth. This is going to be ready quite
very soon, very soon. We have already in our minds a lot of things, but we have to think deeper how the logo could be different, to be adapted in different target groups, mainly in students. as well to the general,
Public.
this is the most important. And maybe at the first days of January, we will have.
Yes, we have already identified the provider that we work with and know our work and he has experience in environmental issues and things like that, so he will invest some time and be thinking in producing some logos for us to choose. He will present us with 2 or 3 different options, which will be communicated to all partners. And then we will choose and conclude. So this will be done as soon as possible, and as Vasily said, within January, we will have some proposals to share with all of you.
We always we need to also examine, because there are tendencies, as you know, on these kind of things. We need to consult with the other Erasmus projects also to have not necessarily something similar, but it is always useful to see what is the trend at the moment. And this is important also for the visual identity. The visual identity of the 70s, 80s, 90s are different of today. So that's fine.
If I may add something, please, and maybe you can just go back to the first slide, because we have used a logo line without making a comment on it. Perhaps it's now time to comment on the logo line that we have used in the presentation. And mainly for you to see and check if your logo used is the correct one. And we would like to ask all of you to share and send us your logo in good analysis and quality in order to be used and be incorporated in the overall logo identity of the project. We have used the logos as we found them online. And
Basti, I send this.
we used the logo from the school in Fieldwork. And also the school inside, which I don't know if you have a logo.
Yes, we have
We
one.
couldn't find one, so please
Okay.
share it with us.
This one.
And
we have this book.
and for all partners to check their logos, if
For
they are
this,
correct.
if the schools do not have one,
My people, there is a logo made from a specialist.
We can create like. Yes.
yeah,
There are examples of the
okay.
area campus, so we will.
Yeah. Good.
In the logo of the Ministry of Education, that doesn't include the culture.
I don't remember, I cannot hear.
Because culture is not
Culture
anymore.
is the.
The different, yeah.
That's the proper one.
No, maybe that's the one. Maybe that's the one. I don't remember.
No,
I
it's
need
not.
to stop sharing.
A new one.
Yes, it's okay, you want.
All of us allow share that proper. Yeah, okay. Next one, okay, these are, okay.
So we're here, we start with the logo. Of course, we will create a web page and appealing and a user-friendly website. That it is a task undertaken by El Cambiente, if I'm not wrong. El Cambiente will create with the support of all of us, of course, the website of the project. Third, we have included, of course, a small leaflet to promote the project, presenting very briefly in a nice way objectives, activities, key deliverables, and translated in all partners' language. We have included to produce 4 newsletters, keep tracking of the project, again produced in all partners' languages. Newsletter. Based on the proposal, we have yes, we have included also the creation of 2 social media accounts or profiles. Most likely Facebook is going to be the one. And if you are familiar or you prefer another one, LinkedIn, we said, but we can discuss it with you if it's going to be something else. We are open.
Familiar with.
If you're familiar with, let's say, Instagram or Twitter, I don't know, this depends on you. We can discuss apart from Facebook, which other social media accounts, profile you.
Something for the social media, depending from the target. If this is going to be for the pupils, if it must be specialized to that target. Facebook is for the age of the open.
For education.
Because we are familiar with
For
the-
education.
That
one, yes,
Yes.
students,
Yes,
I agree,
From,
I agree.
Yeah.
Primary.
They are not
They
are not allowed. Not even Facebook.
What?
For primary.
Yes, it's great.
What about the school? Does
They
it
do
have
have,
a-
but they.
Yeah, account, the school,
I don't know, but do you have?
No, we don't
No,
have
don't
an
have.
account, only the parents association.
you don't have an account.
So what do you think, what are the most appropriate ones? Facebook is one or
Actually,
the
none of
adults,
them is for the students.
none?
Yes, but for middle school students, students of Progymnasium,
Yeah.
because
Yes.
they are in. the
But they are
project.
saying yes.
They
They
have,
are in our target group.
they have, yes, and they
They
have
have.
social.
Like TikTok and Instagram.
Yeah.
Instagram, I think the Instagram is for the
Instagram perhaps. Or TikTok.
That's why it's about. But since we have two, we can prioritize that we use one more for the teachers and the adults, and the other as more friendly to the students, to more interact.
Get ready for TikTok.
TikTok. Yeah, but.
Get ready.
No,
You can help us with TikTok or.
Okay, here also we have the multiplier events, we talked about them, one per country. They're going to take place after month 28, you all have the Gantt chart. 4 multiplier events, more or less with 200 participants each, quite ambitious. Here we meant hybrid or live.
both.
I need to check. The 200 in the multiplier. Hybrid, so we can make. Yeah.
You can also just be applied with that. And also, events, what is very important, and it's also highlighted in throughout the proposal is the inclusive education, which means that all our events, national events, final events, should offer additional facilities, like for people either impaired or with visual or physical impairments. So we need to have translation also in the sign language and offer all kinds of tools to facilitate participation of and be inclusive. So this is why final event will be hybrid and will also have not only translation, but the translation in sign language. This is something that we need to pay attention when planning our events, including the national ones.
Basically, already the School of Rafinas they have an Erasmus program about this.
I mean, for
So,
all part,
That's why they are going to share their experience to all of us.
we need to have that in our mind when
Va-
involve
Vasilis,
people, the public,
Please.
Students, teachers in general.
Please, Saras.
Vasilis, I didn't hear all your phrase.
Δεν θα πείτε για μας.
Tell me
Δεν θα μας
that your school, you have the experience about the people with problems with hearing or visual problems. You can present your experience.
But our experience about what exactly, Vasilis?
Inclusiveness.
For inclusiveness,
For inclusion,
inclusion of all the pupils.
Of all,
you mean our experience on inclusion?
Yes,
Okay, yes, okay. As I told you yesterday, we've got two special teachers that deal with children that have mild learning problems. For example, dyslexia or some minor behavior problems. And we've got about 25 children with that attend these two classes. And at the same time, we've got 17 children that have more severe behavior or mental problems, for example, autism, which are taken care by 8 special teachers that are with these kids into the class. And there are cases that one teacher takes cares of 3 pupils that it happens to be in the same class. Apart from that, we've got a special class that supports children that have language problem due to their immigrant background. At this moment, we have got 16 children, either from Ukraine, either from Egypt, either from Albania, that attend this class and they get supported to extend their abilities in communication, oral communication, or written communication. And this can be children that have zero knowledge of Greek, or due to their family background, they're not so much sophisticated in communicating orally or in a written language with in school. I don't know whether you need some more.
No, one of the, I mean, it is very important that we have one or more schools, particularly your school there. Perhaps you may select one activity, 1 or 2 activities, and try to teach this activity or teach this chapter to these students, the ones you mentioned, and this will be one, let's say, product, one activity that may be included, showing that the material to a certain extent can also be useful for these groups of not for the entire material to be, let's say, implemented there, but it might be very useful to show that there is an effort that this material that is going to be produced is also used with these students, and definitely I am sure that this will help them to grasp some more, let's say, knowledge, feelings on the climate change and proposed, let's say, adaptation or measures for reaction. That it will be an asset of the project.
Okay, yes, we can cooperate with special teachers to organize activities with the children and get some feedback on material effectiveness on this particular group of children.
Right. Thank you very much. That's very important.
Thank you.
So, Vicky, you continue.
Yes. So we talked about the final conference in Italy. Am I right? In Italy? Yes. And so we will create 5 posts in
What are you supposed to say?
cannot see here, so can you tell her to
To intervene. Yes. So, Lotta, please take the floor. We cannot see you because we have the screen, but please intervene. Yeah.
Hi, sorry, but we have some problems with the connection. We wanted to ask you some questions. The first is if the logo in the first slide is the coordinated imaging, and if so, if it is already have been created. And
the logo is not created yet. You are going to be consulted on that. We are going to have the proposals within January. Within January, we will have proposals, and we'll share this with you and all other partners for your comments.
okay, and the second question is about the objectives, because some of them for us can be ambitious to gain, as the 500 visits on the website. And yes,
this is indicative. This is indicative. It's not compulsory.
No, se l'ho scritto il progetto no. Credi che sia possibile fare una riunione con, cioè, su queste cose, anche ad esempio sul fatto del LinkedIn che in Italia non è...
The second question is about LinkedIn, because here is not very well used. Is a social that is not very used.
Social media.
Which ones? Like
Which you may propose social media that are more popular in Italy.
Okay.
Yeah, you can suggest the right one for you. Yes.
And about this, maybe is it possible to have a specific meeting with our communication expert, because she couldn't be here today.
Yes, we will not decide today on that. We just presented for everybody to reflect. And it would be nice to have your communication officer involved, and we can have bilateral discussion, because this activity is under the joint leadership of you and MIO. So you have to discuss with Vicky and Iro and our group, and what will be the final suggestion will be communicated to the rest of the group.
Coordinate the webpage production.
Yeah.
And also coordinate the webpage production. So maybe next days we will send you a doodle to find the common date to discuss this.
Thank you.
We didn't hear you.
Okay, I said we will propose to have a bilateral meeting between NEO and Legaviente to discuss the issues of communication, webpage and social media.
Ok,
Okay.
it's good.
Okay.
Thank you. So,
Facciamo la cosa con una cosa.
did we finish with this?
There are a lot.
So the hard part now, what are the partners task when it comes to communication activities? Let's set it all from the beginning. So for sure, we need to translate promotional material in your own languages. And what we mean with the promotional material, we mean the newsletters, when it's ready, the small leaflet that is going to be produced, and some key press releases. And the partners shall present the project in their own media channels, either their webpage. Put a small corner about a notification about the project in your webpage. Social media, if you have, of course, include related post or a news item in your upcoming, let's say, newsletter, things like that. Don't be shy, spread the word. We can also promote the project in events that we want participate sooner or later about education, about climate change and things like that, even to other teachers trainings that we will coordinate or we are going to participate. And communicate the project also to online platforms and networks that you are familiarized with, you are linked with, in order to multiply the effect. And as we said before, you need to add your audiences, your networks, your groups in the table of the beneficiaries of the target groups that we will share with you time by time. Also, every partner will organize a multiply event at the last month of the project. We discussed about it. You will be asked to give us some news related to climate change education, related to how the project runs in your school, in your organization, in order to feed in the social media account that we are going to create. Of course, we can invite you to be co-editors, if you like, in the Facebook page and in the other account we will develop. So, yes, you will be notified by us regularly in order to feed in our social media pages. And in general, share experiences related to the project with us and with other organizations in the field. And of course, to participate in the internal communication activities that we have, such as the online meetings, the coordination meetings, and things like that. This is mostly management, but it touches upon also to internal communication, as we said. So a very, very rough timetable that will be included in our communication plan. Project logo. We hope early in January, as we said. The communication plan that we shared with you very, very briefly today is going to be shared with you the draft by mid-January to have your input, your comments, and finalize it by end of January. So we will have it like a small Bible to remember what we should do about communication. The social media accounts, we will see, we will try also to create at least a Facebook page by end of January, at least, and we will discuss about the second account with you. Then, I'm not sure about the deadline for the webpage of the project. However, I have given a couple of months, maybe by the end of March, we need to consult with this, with like at the end. We will discuss it, as we said, bilaterally, by when, because I didn't find any particular deadline in the proposal. However, as soon as better to have a simple webpage to communicate about the project. Okay, the leaflet will be ready, we hope, by early, very early in March, in order to be translated in your languages by the end of March. And indicatively, very indicatively, the first newsletter, let's say, will be prepared by September, even a little bit earlier. Again, we didn't have any indication in the proposal. It can be every 6 months.
So
So
we have some activity.
some
so that
and the report, let's say, or something, and things like that.
The newsletter with students' work, of course. Yeah.
Yes, that will be lovely. Yes, yes.
highly recommend.
Yes. So what else is in the communication dissemination plan? Okay, yes, we will share with you a very simple tool, it is an Excel file, in order to keep track of what you do regarding communication. Let me show this to you, very simple but quite practical. So they are, don't share and again. Don't share and share again. So this is an Excel file through which we can very easily keep track of what we do whenever we upload the web page article or we make a social media post. We have prepared for every partner such a file. It's going to be uploaded also on the desktop so that you can feed in from time to time.
Actually, this is best to be on the drive. So that.
Because otherwise, on the desktop, you need to download and complete and again upload. It's not useful for this. Yes, because it's going to be. Okay, so we have various tools. Was it the website? Suppose a newsletter, meeting, very brief information, even the title, the date, when it happened, what was my audience, was it global, was it national, European, outside Europe, what kind of target groups, we are going to elaborate a little bit. How many approximately persons have reached out with this article or with this meeting? Approximately the web link of this article news post or of this meeting. This helps us to keep track of what we do in order to communicate and disseminate the project. It seems that it works in previous Erasmus. It's quite simple. It is an Excel file. You can always add in, save, close from time to time. Okay. But again, if you have any comments, you can start it out.
In the list. Can you repeat the list of the time?
Yes.
Not managed to read.
Yes, it's very close, very small. I will try to zoom in. So the list is, we have included a web page article. I have uploaded web page article at that date, that time, this is the link. Social media post, newsletter article, a news item in my newsletter, a meeting. I spoke about the project in that meeting, blah, blah. And then the other, where you can write if there is any other kind of interaction, communication, yes, event.
Sorry.
Clippings are there, clippings from newsletter, newspaper.
Newsletter article.
Oh, no,
It's
no,
what
from
we do.
newspaper,
It's what we do.
yeah.
We record what we do as communication of the project. That's what we feel in there.
Not how this is actually multiplied in a newspaper or.
The direct actions, that thing that the partners do in order to keep track, not to lose the end of the product and try to summarize numbers and events and things like that. But if you want us to add something else, we can.
I think about the email, when we.
Promote.
I think maybe we need to add the email we will send, for example, for the questionnaire, for invitation to flyer event. It is a means to this email to talk about the document.
And just because this is the typical for EU reporting funds and communications, I'm not really sure that emails are eligible as a way
Communication.
of communication, yeah.
Dissemination. I don't know, but if they do it regularly, they reach out to their audiences through the email. They have an email list. Yes.
I just think that if we start monitoring it and then it's not eligible, then it's not worth monitoring. Maybe we can double check. But it's a way of dissemination, as much communication.
But
σήκωσε χέρι, Δανιέλη. Μους.
Okay, sorry.
About the electronic newsletter, we wanted to know if every partner send his own newsletter, or there is one newsletter in English that we translate and then send to your contacts.
Carlotta, actually it works both ways. We create newsletters for PARCCE every 6 months, let's say, that we will translate it in all partners' languages and disseminate widely to our list and audiences. But as you told from the partner staff, you can create a small post, a small article in your own upcoming newsletter as intended in order to disseminate it further. So it works both ways. We shall do both.
Okay, thanks.
we record,
And we record them, yes, all these in the Excel list.
but on top of that, we need, if possible, all articles all articles in newspapers, in emissions, radio emissions or whatever that refer to the project to be listed.
This
To
is
track
after
that.
most of the times.
Yeah, so we continue. Any other questions about this? So we saw the good, the communication activities. I don't know if you feel like on 5 days to discuss about hashtag. How you think, any ideas and inspirations? These are quite typical, conventional. What else should be there?
I would like to mix the climate change and the augmented reality.
So come and maybe.
I prefer a mixed with climate change education and augmented reality education.
Mix,
To mix in other time.
but the hashtag needs also to be understandable, not only,
All right. All right. And the,
you need to understand,
yeah,
apart from an acronym.
and the,
During
Climate
I-
action.
I prefer to prevent man-made change education. No, it's
Not new terms.
Oh.
Zero new term. This is out.
Climate
We
action,
have so many things.
Augmented reality will not be visible at the beginning.
No.
No, even climate change education is too long. It should be CC education.
Capital.
CC sometimes for few people are crisis. That's why make it confused.
If it is climate crisis, it's not a problem. Okay.
Okay, we can leave it like,
Yeah.
Europe and, I think I have come to an end. I have only one last slide. Because this is going to take place at the end of the project to discuss on how,
Usually,
okay, this is the last slide. Last slide about the sustainability plan, exploitation, further exploitation of the project that we should develop at the last month of the project. These are a few bullets just to start thinking it from the beginning about it, what an exploitation plan has to do with. It needs to outline and present some key ways, key media channels and opportunities in order to amplify, to scale up the project's results, and particularly the material, the educational material, the training toolkits that will be produced, how we're going to amplify these deliverables effect, not only at national and European level, maybe beyond, we will see, in order to ensure that transferability in similar contexts, educational contexts. And exploitation of the use of the deliverables of the results may include research, further trainings and education. Sometimes, I don't know if this is the case for our project, influence public policy making. So how we can further exploit and ensure the sustainability of our key products, maybe through further collaboration and networking, through training of trainers, multiplying the effect as always, upscaling the use of our product to a wider audience, and either further exploitation actions may derive from all partners initiatives that have a fit for purpose aspect and can be linked with this project. This is quite early, actually. I have put a slide just to start thinking about the exploitation of our key deliverables and the project's effect. But we will follow up with this for sure.
Thank you, Vicky. You put that. I think it's not only for the final product. I think these collaborations, networking, and the rest is something, you know. All what we are doing is a living a process, and therefore we can enhance the deliverables through that. I mean, when we are talking about communication, this part includes also further collaborations not visible at this level. So we will have the opportunity to include that in our reporting. I have, and I said it yesterday, already in mind a very important extension to use this material in non-EU countries of the South. I'm going to build on that. I'm going to cultivate that already within the West program that we have. For those of you that do not know, this program is an EU service program. So it is using the West as the extended arm of the European Union for environment, water and environment support in the non-EU Southern European countries. And we have already some provisions for education there. We see how we may enhance it. So already from now, we are going to use this opportunity, this channel, to enhance actually the visibility of the project. But this is only one of the options. We may have many other options. Okay, is there, yes, any overall comment on this package? Because the communication package is something that runs from now on till the end. And we said that we are going to discuss MIO and Legability with some of the details. But if now we are all together, if you have any message and comment for us, it will be nice. One thing perhaps is to have also a motto, not only a logo, but also a motto. So when we are talking about PARCCE, to have something there where we can then have in 3 or 4 words the combination that Vasilis tried to put. So we have all the characteristics which are in the title, but not to have it as a title, but as a message. So this is something we may elaborate on that.
Comment the possibility.
Okay. Think of that, and we may come back to that. It's not that urgent. Although I think that it is always useful. For example, you see this. I find this is another project we have with one other organization being the coordinator, and we are among the organizations participating. On the top is the name of the project, but there is also there people-centered transition for maritime decarbonization in the East Mediterranean. It is almost like a summary. This is not, but we may have in other projects something like a message, the key message of this. For example, climate change, education, or if we see if augmented reality at the end is our logo, if this is strong enough to have as a flag the notion.
It has to be linked with the logo, though.
It has to be linked.
Yes.
Yes. This, and when we were talking about the leaflet, I think we don't need a leaflet. We need to have a card. You see, it's a proactive collective initiative. It says, and then it says provides a region-specific overview of the state of play with regards, identifies, develops, and the actors, so that you can read it in 3 minutes and understand perfectly what it's all about. I can show, we have copies, you can have some copies to as a source of inspiration.